Jinu Patel, and I'm here today to talk to you about immigration law. Um, I graduated from Central Connecticut State University back in 1995. I'm honored that someone would call me and want to take advice from me. I don't know if I have any good advice, but I am willing to share some of my experiences with the field of immigration law. I went to Central right out of high school, so I was a traditional college student, and I always knew I wanted to go to law school right from the beginning. That was one of my goals after graduating from college. So I was pretty focused on that goal. Um, Unfortunately, I didn't really have any experience in the law other than watching um, lawyers on TV or in the news. I didn't know much about what lawyers did. So when I saw lawyers on TV or in the media, I just thought they were always very polished looking and articulate and very intelligent and passionate. And I really admired those qualities. And when I was 18, I did not have those qualities. So I was looking for places to learn those skills. I enjoyed my time very much at Central when I was there. I had some wonderful experiences being an RA, working on campus, volunteering, and being involved in a lot of clubs. All of those experiences really helped me figure out what I was good at, what I liked to do, what I didn't like to do, some of my strengths and weaknesses. So for all of you in college still, I highly recommend you use this time to learn more about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your goals. Really think about um, what you are good at. So having the goal of getting into law school provided a lot of incentive, motivation, inspiration to stay focused on my schoolwork and develop my leadership skills, because I knew I'd have to differentiate myself between all the other applicants. As you know, thousands of people apply to law school. You have to distinguish yourself. So I used my time at Central to work on my leadership skills and unique life experience to differentiate myself, and that worked out really well. I do think that's why I got into law school. I wrote a really personal essay explaining my background and why I wanted to go to law school, and I think all of you at Central have very unique stories that you should use your application, your essay application, to highlight what it is about you that's so unique that you can make a contribution to the field of law that is something of value. I would also consider taking classes that may be about the law, maybe copyright law or criminal law, constitutional law. Some schools offer classes like that. All of that will give you an idea of what to expect in law school, or a little bit expect in law school, and it can help you just understand if it is the field you want to go into. I would take a lot of English classes or writing classes. History classes with writing would be helpful. A lot of classes that offer opportunities to really work your analytical skills. There are also plenty of lawyers who major in math and technical fields, and they go into patent law. I would say follow what you're interested in. You don't have to major in anything specific. So if you do well in the sciences or philosophy, humanities, whatever it is you're good at, stick with that. And you can always use that in your legal training later on. Because I went to school in Washington, I did have a lot of opportunities to see various areas of law. As I mentioned in my bio, initially I started out with civil rights work. I enjoyed that, and I did that for about 3 years, partly during law school and after. And then because I didn't have a lot of experience going into law school and starting my career, I felt it was important to try other things. So while I enjoyed the civil rights work, I felt it was necessary to try other things. And so at that point, I had an opportunity to go into finance, which was something I always thought was interesting, and an opportunity came up, and I was still pretty young in my career, so I jumped on that chance. I was investigating insider trading for the NASDAQ, and it was very exciting work, I guess, if you can call it that. You hear about it in the news. Whenever I went to a cocktail party, it was always fun to talk about my job and how I was investigating board members of Fortune 500 companies. listed on the NASDAQ exchange for doing uh, illegal illegal activities. So I did like that. It was a great learning opportunity, but the more I did it, I realized it wasn't something I wanted to do long term. Personally, I did not find it fulfilling after a few years of doing it, and so I was again looking for something that really, you know, sung for me. So a friend of mine was listening to me. Kind of counseling me, I guess, and giving me advice about my career. And she had mentioned that she knew about immigration law and that I would be a great fit for that. So I had the opportunity to work for a person who was doing immigration law, and it just it was immediate, the connection I felt. And looking back now over the course of my life, it completely makes sense why I like immigration law. I am an immigrant myself, so I came to this country when I was 6, so I don't really remember the immigration process, but I do understand the experience of an immigrant, and there are a variety of experiences. No immigrant experience is the same. So having that experience was and is very helpful in my day-to-day understanding of immigrants, the struggles they go through, their triumphs and tribulations, and definitely my own experience informs how I relate to my clients, and I think my clients really appreciate that. Um, Even in the field of immigration law, which is vast, I only specialize in a very small slice of it. I do employment based immigration, which is a specialty. Law is very gray. Even though for people who don't know or study law, law may seem very black and white, but actually, law is very gray and subject to interpretation. And so, my job as an advocate is to always advocate and defend or promote my clients' interests. And I don't do that in the class, in the courtroom. I'm not a litigator. I don't ever go to court. I don't like going to court. Going in front of a judge kind of scares me. I do all of my work on paper. I file briefs and I write persuasively to have the USCIS, which is the administrative body that handles immigration. I write briefs and persuasive arguments to convince the administrator, the adjudicator, making the decision to rule in my client's favor. And it is awesome. It's awesome to wield that kind of power. It's awesome to be able to get something for my client that they otherwise thought they wouldn't be able to get. And it's very satisfying to be able to help someone so personally in a case, in their real life situation, to do something. The other part of my job is to counsel my clients, basically, advising them of the law and helping them to see how the law applies to a particular situation and how they should adjust their strategy going forward. So I really enjoy that. When I was 18, I did not know that I was going to be an immigration lawyer. When I was in college, I just had a vague idea that I wanted to go to law school because I liked how lawyers looked and presented themselves to the world. I did not even know what immigration lawyers did, and I really didn't have any interest in that. But through 10 years of understanding myself, my strengths, having a variety of legal experiences, I was able to find something early enough in my career to latch onto. And I have to say, immigration really makes my heart sing. It takes all of the qualities that I have and puts them to productive use. I like helping people. I love learning about different cultures. I love the personal interactions that I have with my clients. And all of that came from 10 years of failing maybe, or 10 years of trying different things. So just because you don't know right now what you want to do, as long as you have some guiding principles of maybe going to law school, that may be just enough to start. And you will have opportunities along the way to hone your skills and learn what you are good at. And again, let what you're good at be your guide.